traveling to Chicago, the Lions have the perception of not being able to do well in outdoor games. Jared Goff has the perception of not being able to do well in inclement weather. Do you think any of those things are going to play out this week, D-Mac?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we saw it through this last weekend. You look at, we mentioned the San Francisco-Philly game. You saw some of the weather, but you look at the Pittsburgh-Arizona game that got, delayed a couple times. Thunderstorms. Rain coming down, and but you're used to it. You're ready for that, right? The wind coming off of Lake Michigan, rainy weather, stuff like this. I'm sure the guys will be preparing outdoors this week, so they'll be ready to play. It's a game that you got marked on the calendar as a W, but it's never easy in this league, and especially now, you're looking at some of the injuries, which all teams have. Justin Fields, is he the guy? You still have to stop the mobile quarterback. So there's still questions, but I don't think the weather affects us as much. You got to go out and play.
Spenny, you think this is a prove-it game for Jared Goff? Because, I know you're a Jared Goff doubter. I'm not going to call you a hater anymore.
Okay.
But you can't call yourself a truther. You can call yourself a doubter.
I'm a truther.
But then you're a hater. I'll meet you in the middle with doubter, but if you won't meet me in the middle, then you're a hater.
That's fair.
All right, then you're a hater.
I'm a truther.
Do you think this is a show? If Jared Goff goes to Chicago, takes on Justin Fields in some inclement weather, and leads the team down the field to a game-winning touchdown, or just a blowout in general, or a win, period, do you think more highly of Jared Goff, and are you more confident in his ability to go outside and win a ball game?
Yeah, it'll definitely improve my perception of him playing outside, but this is a game they should win. They're better than the Bears. They are 9-3. This is a team that's fighting for last in the division, so you need to go out there and you need to win this game, especially if you're trying to make this playoff push. Everybody's fighting for that number one seed now in the NFC, so they need to go out there and win, and this is an important game for Jared Goff to try to get that monkey off his back of not being able to play in inclement weather, because it's not going to be nice in Chicago on Sunday in Soldier Field in December. It's not going to be easy, breezy, sunny day. People were like, oh, he played outside. And it's like, oh, yeah, Kansas City in August. Dude, that's such terrible weather there. So we'll see. I hope it's nothing too bad, but he definitely needs to step up to help this team win.
D-Mac, when you're playing a team in such a short amount of time that you were down against early, you should have beat, but you came back and beat, what's your mentality going in the next game? Is it just let's show them that last game was a mistake and that they shouldn't have even been close? No,
your inadequacies of that game and what cost you is glaring in your face. To me, the quick start. I think this game speaks, and we're going to get into Frank Ragnow, maybe not playing and what this offensive line is going to do. But this game sets up to be that old school NFC North battle where it's on the ground because of the weather, whatever else. And when you give me David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs with the way that they are, you look at it's a Jared Goff. He doesn't have to do anything except take care of the ball and manage the game the way that he's done. Ben Johnson's going to come up with some tricks, but I think this is. I see it in the chat thread. Montgomery 3 touchdowns. It's going to be a ground and pound game, stuff like this. I would think that it is. So what worked? So to answer your question, Stick, what worked for you late, you will implement early.
And how do you make
adjustments that you made?
I was going to say, how do you make those coaching adjustments though? Because the Bears are
video.
The Bears are going to look at the tape and see what happened at the end of last game and make their adjustments.
So let me ask you this: what was the apparent miss in the Bears game early on that cost them?
Starting out playing coverage and not pressing the quarterback.
So there you go.
So
here's the thing. What'd you say, Spenny?
I said I would say throwing 3 interceptions.
But say what you want. The Bears defense has been causing havoc lately. Didn't they force 3 interceptions last game too?
Yeah, their linebackers are good and they got a great corner.
Yeah.
So your argument imperativeness is not to be frivolous with the ball, and the fact is exactly what you came out with in the road game in New Orleans is the fact you did not turn over the ball. That was the number one game plan coming out. That's it, to keep it on the ground, to not have to do those things. Can we agree that it was more Goff was feeling himself a little bit and got out of the rhythm, and Chicago made him pay. That can happen once. I don't think it's the same thing. But to your point, Stick, I'm not worried about Jared Goff. That's the professional in him, and he knows that he can't afford that. He does that, we lose. Proven here, in the past. To your point about what coverage to play, yes, the adjustments that were made in the second half, you'll be ready to make them earlier. Whether you start off the same way or not start off the same way, but the adjustments you made, you won't wait till the third quarter or fourth quarter or whatever. You're going to make them early. And who cares? So then, you know what? Good. Chicago, you're ready for us to make adjustments? Then let's beat you because we're a better team.
Well, and part of my thinking is Dan Campbell's the type of guy that's like, all right, they're gonna know that we want to come out and run the ball. Let's fucking chuck it all over the field and let's just come out with it, completely surprise them. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell put together that type of game plan and came out with that, because everybody is expecting you, if it's bad weather, to run the ball. You have a good running game. And these are the type of guys that like to use what you expect against you. So I can see them doing that. Jeff, what do you see happening this Sunday?
I mean, you kind of saw it already against the Saints, the offensive line. I think this game starts and ends with them. The weather, the whole Jared Goff thing, I don't think Jared Goff's going to have to single-handedly beat the Bears. I think they're going to run the football. And the Bears are playing well. I mean, Justin Fields looked damn good at Ford Field. So we'll see in inclement weather outside. But the Bears are a threat, man. They're playing better. The defense is buzzing. I mean, Montez Sweat looks really good. I can't lie. I mean, his first couple games with Chicago, he's a couple sacks already. He's a dog.
Not
but
worth it, Spenny. Let's not have that conversation today, Spenny. 9-3 without him.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: Justin Fields. Jordan Love looks good. Justin Fields to me is kind of just this. He looks good against the Lions, and then you see him against the Vikings.
Justin
and he
Fields
looks
is what he
awful.
is. He's a great running quarterback.
That
He's
is
a
it.
great running quarterback, but he's not a quarterback.
But against the Lions, you see that throw to DJ Moore, like he does things like that.
He's going to get a throw here and there. Listen, he has an NFL arm. He just doesn't have NFL accuracy. And every once in a while, he's going to put one on a dot. That's just what happens.
That's why, to me, this Lions defense, you talked about not turning the ball over. You can't turn it over with this defense right now with how they're playing. You just can't. And the personnel, the talent, whether it's AG, whatever you want to blame, turning the football over, the margin for error right now with this team, you can't do it. If you turn the football over, it's hard enough to win games, but it's going to have to go on the offensive shoulders this week again.
What you sighing about over there, Spenny?
Fucking stream is shit,
sorry. I thought it was about Jeff's opinion.
No,
Damn it, Jeff.
I respect Jeff's opinion.
I do respect Jeff's opinion too. D-Mac, what you thinking over there?
No, I'm just thinking you don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. Like to your point, I don't need them to be overthinking and they're going to think this and we're going to think that. Just go out and game plan the ground and pound NFC North, because that's what you're made of. The next man up, with the offensive line and do it that way. Yeah, have those plays in there if you're going to use them to strike and surprise. But no, this is exacting your will on this other team, because this is a battle. And yes, Chicago is playing better and they have different guys, but you saw what they did against you when you took them a little bit lightly or weren't prepared right off the bat. So
and you know what? I would rather them come into this game by having that last game. Even though, like, when it happened, it was like, oh my God, they almost lost to the Bears. I would rather that be happening right now going into this game than a blowout happened 3 weeks ago, to where it's like they're going to take these guys for granted. They're going to come in there maybe not prepared. Because of last game, this team's going to come in more prepared. So it's almost a blessing what happened, and you get the W.
To your point, if the almost took them for granted was last game, they're not going to take them for granted at all, because they know how close that was.